Hello, I'm Chris, the founder of languagesonaplate.com, and in this video I'm really excited to show you how my website works. So let's get going. So first of all, we've landed on the home page. As you can see, I have 4 things that the website does. First of all, I have my Spanish interactive online video course, which has over 50 lessons and over 1,000 activities and over 250 videos, so a lot of content to get you up to a good level of Spanish. Then I have my Cultural Capital Booster, which has information about music, TV, film, and anything related to the Spanish-speaking world so that you can improve your knowledge about it. Then I have my Educator Resources. This is for teachers so that you can download fully scaffolded lessons, nice and easy so you can save time on your planning. I have everything for Key Stage 3 here, and I've started making work on Key Stage 4 and Key Stage 5. And then I have some teacher training and CPD. So in this section I have some videos, some blogs, and some text that can help you improve your teaching practice. And then alternatively, you could book a tutoring session with me if you want to have a more bespoke learning program. So I'm going to start by showing you how the online Spanish course works. So in here you've arrived at the online Spanish courses. I'm just going to scroll into where the courses are. So I'm just going to join my A1 course, which is part of the Spanish Online Video School. So now that we're in the online program itself, what you can see is I've got all of the different steps divided by module and they go up in a scaffolded way. So it's very structured. So you can see all of the lessons build up your knowledge step by step so that you're ending each module with a consolidated linguistic knowledge. Beyond that, I'm just going to show you a few examples of some activities that I have. So you can see I've started off with a check-in video, making sure that my pupils understand. And then I've got a quick translation activity here. Normally I go to Spain with my family. Normalmente voy a España con mi familia. Submit, tells me I'm correct. Sometimes my family and I go to France. Let me make a few mistakes here. As you can see, if I click on a word that I've already selected, it deselects it. But I'm just going to submit the incorrect one, and then it tells me what the answer is. We then have some practice, some grammar. Tú y yo fuimos a España. María y Juan fueron a España. Siobhan, let's make a mistake. Let's say Siobhan fui a España. It tells me I've got it wrong. In the red color, let's put it correct. Fue a España. Included listening activities. So you can see here, this one is a multiple choice one.
Número 1. Hola, me llamo Juana. El año pasado fui a Italia con mi familia. Número 1.
So as you can see in all of my lessons, I've got the variety of activity types. We had a listening, we've had vocabulary, we've had grammar. It all scaffolds up. If I go into this one, I can make the text bigger if I so choose. And I'm looking for the vocabulary in here. So the south of Spain, sur de España, and you can see here I've got my accent buttons. So I don't need to worry, I've made a typo there. It'll tell me I've got it wrong. I'm just going to pre-populate some stuff. And then it gives me feedback. So here, sur de España, I know I've got it right. It gives me another opportunity, but also tells me the correct answer. Then there's some comprehension. Where does she normally go? She normally goes to Spain. Where did she visit this time? Colombia, etc. I have some other games in here as well. So this is a quick fire translation. In this one I've got 90 seconds and I've got to try and match up the translations without making a mistake, because a mistake will give me a 5-second penalty. So, mi amigo fue a Escocia. My friend went to Scotland. So I'm going to click this blue box. And I find my friend went to Scotland. Mi familia y yo fuimos a Inglaterra. My family and I went to England. If I can find it. Where is it? Here we are. Say I get a mistake. Mis hermanos fueron a Alemania. It's meant to be my brothers went to Germany or my siblings went to Germany. Let's make a mistake. Let's put it as Jose and Lola went to France. And I've been given a 5-second penalty. It's taken it off here and there was a little flash up. Got an example of a dictation here. So again, a listening activity.
El verano pasado, mi familia y yo fuimos a Argentina en avión.
So you've heard the audio. I'm now going to try and type in what I heard. I can do it at the same time. I have the accent buttons that pre-populate for the words that you're listening for. So let's try this one at the same time. I'm going to make a mistake as I do it.
El verano pasado, mi familia y yo fuimos a Argentina en avión.
So I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to say fuimos, and I'm going to make sure that I've got the accent correct for this one. And you can see here, highlighted green, the ones I've got correct, red, the one I've got incorrect, and it has told me what the correct answer should be, fuimos. I then have an example here of a grammar activity, very simple, just grammar conjugation, tú y yo, helado, and I need to make sure that I've got it correct, comimos, and I'm just going to put a few examples in, check my answers, it tells me to keep going, but it's told me I've got the ones that I've got right, correct, and they've locked in. Let me make a mistake here, Lucas, let me say that I put it in the yo form, and it tells me I've got it wrong. It tells me the correct form as well. One of the differences between this course and many other courses, I always try to boost learners' knowledge, scaffold it up, do the equivalence of stop and drops. So you can see here I'm about to start a new module, this one a day in my life, about daily routine. And before we've gone into the module, you can see I'm on the introduction to the module area. I have a recap of everything that we have done previously in the course that might or that is going to pop up in the learning in these lessons. So if I want to recap how to do the preterite, it's going to pop up later in this module. I've got my video, I've just muted it. Within the video, I have all of the explanations with diagrams. Hopefully I'm going to pick the correct moments. So I've got all of this information that I explained to the learners. And then I have the diagrams from the videos if they are feeling fairly confident beforehand, and they can get all of that information again. Within each of these recap sections, I have all of the extra information. So here I'm still within the preterite tense, and I've got the pretérito grave, and again I've got all of the different diagrams to help the learners learn it properly, go over everything, and then I have the diagrams below. Moving away from the courses, one of the other aspects that I love about my website that I think is really useful for any learners that are trying to boost their cultural capital, if you click on the Culture tab or the Independent Learners tab at the top here in the menu, you get taken to an area where you can boost your cultural capital about anything within these categories relating to the Spanish-speaking world. So I'm going to scroll down. You can see I've got courses, that takes you to those interactive video courses, places so you can learn about the countries, music, TV, film, literature, art, food, people, and then there are a few free resources within the resources area. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of places. So I've selected a few countries. I'm going to choose Colombia because of my own bias. Within Colombia, I've got a fact file at the top, a few different places that I've identified as key within the country, and then I've got some associated content within. So if I scroll down to the fact file, I've got core information about the country. So I've got the capital, major cities, the currency, and I decided to build these pages when pupils need to do end of term projects, but they're also useful for anyone that just wants to boost their cultural capital of the Spanish-speaking world. Moving on, I'm going to just choose Cartagena, where my grandmother grew up. And I've got information about Cartagena over here with some nice images as well. And then when I go down to the associated content, I click on music. It's going to bring me all the way to the bottom where you can see I've got information about a load of different Hispanic artists. These ones all from Colombia that I have written about up to this point. Obviously, I'll continuously add to them. And if I keep scrolling, I get other information. So I've got Botero here for art, Maria Full of Grace for food, and then I've got a few different things in the cuisine. If, however, you want to go to something a bit more specific, you're not looking for a country per se, you really just want to focus on, say, for example, Hispanic music. I'm going to go to my Hispanic music section. First of all, I've got links to my blog posts that are associated with music. I have a few Spotify playlists. So I've got 2 on there at the moment, one that is classroom safe, no explicit content, and one that is just to have all of that content and maybe a few explicit songs as well for learners that want to improve their Spanish. And then I have all of the artists that I've written about below. So I'm going to pick a random artist. Let me pick, okay, Sebastián Yatra, as I've landed on him. Okay, so I have my information about Sebastián Yatra. And then at the bottom I have some links. So I've got a link to a blog post, I've got a link to his Spotify page, I've got a link to his lyrics training artist page, and then a few YouTube links to some of his bigger songs, shall we say, that I like more. Back to the home area, I'm going to show you the educator resources. This is for teachers. Thank you everyone that has said really nice things so far. I really do appreciate it. I love making teaching resources. And you will see here I have 5 steps. Step 1 is equivalent to Year 7 normally, Step 2 Year 8, Step 3 Year 9, Step 4 GCSE, Step 5 A-Level and IB. And then in here in teaching resources, I have a few templates from my CPD, but more on that in a moment. If you're not already part of my Spanish teacher plan, I've got all of my uploaded resources here on this page, visible publicly. As you can see, I've split them up into the different steps, Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. You can see I've got the information about what each of these colors below here represent. So I don't know, I'm just going to click on, okay, the working world. Let me see what's within the working world. En que trabajan tus padres? Okay, I'm learning about jobs. I'm learning ser in the present tense, verbs of opinion, potentially useful. ¿Qué tienes que hacer en el trabajo? Work verbs, tener que en deber. ¿Cómo es tu jefe? How is your boss? Describing bosses and colleagues. And I'm focusing on adjectives in this lesson. So this is in the logged in version. I'm going to click on one of these links to show you what it looks like on the other side. So let's do ¿Cuál es tu trabajo de ensueño? And I'm logged in. I've been taken to the module 1, the working world. Okay, and I think I said ¿Cuál es tu trabajo de ensueño? I'm going to go to ¿Cuál es tu trabajo de ensueño? I have information of what my learning intentions are. I say I have a preview of what the lesson is going to look like. I have a Quizlet link and an associated video that I've made. And then if you click on this button, download lesson documents, it will download the lesson so you can play around with it as you see fit for your learners. So the same applies with all levels. So if I go to step 5 for A-level, you can see I've got the modules that are currently uploaded. And then if I go into the individual lessons, you can see Los cambios en la familia, I'm focusing on family and I'm also focusing on the imperfect tense. Actitudes hacia el matrimonio y el divorcio, I'm focusing on marriage, divorce, those are the topics, and then the preterite tense. Just to show you, if I go to the resource, I get taken to the module, where I've again got all of the learning intentions, a Quizlet link, and I can download the full lesson. I will continuously add teaching resources. Obviously, they take a while to make to a good standard. The same as the online programs, I will continuously make the online courses. But the final thing that I want to show you here is the final of the 4, teacher training and CPD. So let's go there. And in this section, I have a few things to help you improve your ongoing practice. So here, the very first one, you can see 100+ MFL activities for Key Stage 3. This might be really useful for any level, perhaps maybe more useful for people that are currently training. But within there, you can watch a video of me going through all of them. And then you've got a link to where you can find all of those templates. Here I've got some other CPD videos where I'm explaining how to show progress visually for your pupils. This was based on an A-level lesson. And then I have a few other things that I think are going to be quite useful for your teaching practice, perhaps. And I'm continuously adding to this area. Thank you for watching, and if you think that my website might be useful for someone within your network, please do share with them. I really do appreciate it.